Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, it's Herm. Nice to see you. So, hello and welcome to Art Class with Herm. Sorry, I was really excited because since we've moved to one class a week, I feel like I'm missing out on friend and family time. So, I'm overly excited to be here, to be sitting here drawing with you. But it's not about me, it's about you. And let's introduce ourselves in the show and let us know what we're doing. So, welcome to Art Class with Herm. I'm Herm, as always. Nice to see you. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm an artist and illustrator based here in Brooklyn, and I love baseball and I love to draw it. And each week we like to spend some time, and I want to share with you my love of drawing and especially drawing baseball stuff. So, every week we're going to tackle a baseball themed drawing, most likely involving the Mets, because you got to know your audience, kids. So, if this is your first time here, welcome. This is actually our 20th episode. Pretty nuts, right? So, thanks for everyone. If you've tuned in for all of them, shout out in the comments right there, right here. Can I be one of those guys? Make sure you're here, subscribe here. Anyway, shout it off if you're drawing everything. It's really awesome. I love your bunches. It's so great. But if you're a completist like me and you want to catch up on all of our other classes, don't worry. You can simply scroll back on any of the social feeds that you're reading on right now, and you can view all of our past classes. If YouTube is more your style, you don't like social media, that's cool. We got you covered. You can go to artclasswithherm.com. That's going to take you to a YouTube playlist of all of our past episodes, and you can draw a million Mr. Metz or Keith Hernandez, Bobby Valentine, Dom Smith. The list is endless. 20 things you could choose from, which is pretty cool. Awesome. So before we get into that, let's talk about our last class real quick. So last week was the anniversary of my favorite first pitch of all time, 50 Cent's first pitch at Citi Field. Loved it. Thanks for everyone that joined along and drew with us. It was fun to have a smile and share a good time with each other. So thanks for everyone that shared in your drawings. Like we do in every class, we like to select 3 artists that we thought did a fantastic job, and we like to give them a $10 gift card, not a $3 gift card. That doesn't even cover shipping. Anyway, so what we wanted to do is, because I've been getting a lot of emails from people that have been catching up to our classes, so submitting drawings from a couple of months ago and stuff. So I wanted to highlight those people. So this week, big shout outs to Kevin, who drew Keith and Haji, Lori, who drew Mr. Met from our first episode, and Jennifer and Scarlett, who drew the bullpen car with Mr. Met. Your drawings were awesome. Thanks so much for catching up and picking some of your favorite shows and sharing that along with us. It's really cool now that we have a nice basic catalog of different drawings you can do. You can kind of pick and choose if you're like, I don't want to draw every week, that sort of thing. So I commend you. Thank you so much for coming. It means a lot. And those gift cards will be there in just a couple of weeks. Awesome. So let's talk about this art supplies that we're going to need to draw today. So we're pretty loose here on Art Class with Herm. I always grab a standard 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Just pulled it right out of my printer. Nothing too fancy. Crayons, colored pencils, markers, anything you really feel comfortable with, you can draw with. I'm going to be using my brush pen, which is something that I love to draw with, and I'll get into that in a bit more too. And the other thing I really love is, and I need for my supplies, is coffee. Ooh, baby. Look how good. Sorry. So I just want to give a big shout out to our first sponsor on Art Class with Herm for Sail Away Coffee, which is pretty cool. So they've been gracious enough to hook us up with a couple of cans of their cold brew. Right now I'm drinking my unsweetened nitro cold brew, which is pretty cool. So what's really cool about them is they've offered us a 20% off code for our viewers here. So if you go to their website, and that's all going to be popped up on your screen right here. If you type in Herm20 at the checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And you get free shipping of $45 or more in your cart, which is really cool. So just to give you a little note about them, Sail Away Nitro Cold Brew Coffee is what I'm drinking right now. It's infused with nitrogen, which gives it an incredible creamy texture, organic, dairy, and gluten-free. And you can jump on sailawaycoffee.com. But if you're open near a grocery store, near Whole Foods in Long Island or Brooklyn, you can grab it there, which is pretty cool. And in New York City at West Side Markets, Zabar's, and Morton Williams. And then in Long Island, you got a bunch. Whole Foods, North Shore Farms, South Down Markets, some select ShopRites, and Best Mart. So I'll get better at that intro as we go along. But thanks so much for Sail Away. You guys are awesome. This coffee is delicious, and I'll be sipping along with that throughout. But yeah, check them out, guys. Awesome. Cool. All right. So let's talk about what we're going to be drawing today. There it is. Today, we're going to be drawing one of my favorite current baseball players, Noah Syndergaard. So what I like so much about him is not only does he have a lot of personality and very charismatic, I love the long flowing hair. So I'm a big fan of pitching. And, you know, when you can see like the players get really into it and they have their hair or sometimes his bun or whatever, it just brings a smile to my face. So today we're going to practice this type of drawing right here. So if it looks a little intimidating, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through step by step, line by line, so you can draw it as close to mine as possible here, if you'd like. So what's neat with this, in the hair here, I have written Thor, but when we get to this point, you can write whatever you want. You can write Noah, you can write your name, you can write Herm. That's up to you, but we'll walk you through it. I'm going to make mine to look like that. Cool. Sound good? All right. So let me pop this out of the way. Alrighty, so it's funny. I'm drinking this cold coffee. Hopefully, I don't get like finger marks all over my paper. All right, here we go. So, what you're going to want to do, obviously, is we want to decide how much of our paper we're going to be using up for our drawing. So, I'm going to be using my paper horizontally, which means sideways. So, the long end's going to be on the top like this. And the drawing that we have here, it's basically, I'm going to have it like nice and long, so his hair is going to flow here. So you can decide how long you want Noah's hair to be in your drawing. So maybe I'll draw my face here and kind of have the hair kind of flow out right back here. Cool. All right, you guys ready? So I got my brush pen right here, and let's get started. So as we normally do when we draw a player or Mr. Met or something, we're going to draw the hat first. So we said right here is where we want to draw our Noah, right? So that's where I'm going to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pen down and oops, that's the wrong one. Oh my gosh, look at me. Fun fact, I always put a little piece of tape to the pen that has the most ink in it. So that I grabbed the wrong one. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put my pen down right here and I am just going to come up and we're going to make like this horseshoe shape, right? That we've drawn 100 times in our class. So we're just going to draw that horseshoe shape right there. So this is going to be the top of Noah's hat. All right. So now I'm going to come down on the bottom here, and I'm just going to curl down a little bit and kind of connect it a little bit right there. Now you can see I left a little bit of space right there, so not to connect it. I did that just to give it a little bit more, I don't know, it looks a little cooler in the drawing when it's not totally solid connected, but you can connect it if you want, but I just left a little space right there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw another like long horseshoe shape right here, which is going to be for the brim of our hat. So I'm going to come up here a little bit like that and come down like this and then connect it kind of like on this regard right there. So you can see I came up a little bit here and then I brought it down just a little bit here. So you can see a little bit of that line there and pop that right there. Now you can certainly have your hat brim come out really far, like in The Sandlot. Do you guys ever see that movie when they have that long hat? You could do that, but I'm going to leave mine kind of like that. So then at the top, I'm going to put that little button. So I'm just putting a little curved line at the top of our hat right there. And then just for some fun stuff, I'm going to put another little line right here in the brim of the hat. Just some of these little details here that kind of bring it all together. And then I'm going to put another kind of like a dented, like two lines like right here. And then another one like right here. So what the point of these lines is it looks like the hat is like kind of bent out a little bit. So if you guys look at a baseball hat that you have, or any hat really, it doesn't just like fall on your head like a beanie, like a winter hat. It's kind of like built in patterns. So that's what I'm kind of drawing right here. I'm just going to put a little bit more there. Just another little one to highlight it. All right, so we got our hat right there. Let's go on and let's draw our face. So it's going to be a pretty basic kind of face in there, but it's okay. Once we add the hair and stuff, it'll be easier to know who it really is. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down kind of in this dent right here And I'm just going to draw this this little bit of a line like that. This is going to be like kind of like a little cheek, a little part of his cheek there. All right, so now I'm going to start to draw his nose. So my nose is going to come out like this, right? That's where the nose is going to be. So I'm going to come up right here, and I'm going to come down like that. Add that little bit of a line right there. Can you guys see that okay? And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to add this like little bit of a bump right here. So basically I just put like the letter C almost, right? A little tilted up a little bit. That's like the little bump of the nose. And then here, I'm going to add in that part of that nostril. So to do that, I'm just going to come down and come like that. So sorry if my big hand was in the way, but hopefully you guys can see that okay. So you see that? That's basically what I'm looking at right now. All right. So my little dog Daikon just came back from her walk. So if you hear her barking around, she's just excited for a treat. All right. So we got our nose and our cheek there. Let's go ahead and let's start to add in our mouth. So to do that, I'm going to come down like right here, like kind of like at the tip of the nose at the back. And I'm going to make this little bit of a smiley face. Just like that. It's really funny to draw with you and break it down like this because you're you don't think about your drawing breaking it down step by step. It always looks kind of funny, but follow along. It's going to look great. All right. So that's our top lip. Let's add our bottom lip. So again, I'm just going to come in a little bit and I'm going to add this little bit of a bump. Just like that. So I kind of just made a little curve and came in like that. Gave him little duck lips. And then I'm going to put another little curved line at the end there right here, just to give a little bit of a smile. Those duck lips are so funny. All right, so we're going to come in a little bit and add some, like a chin. So to come here, I'm going to come down like this. I'm going to come in a little bit from the end of the bottom lip, curve in, and then kind of bump like that. So you could see that there. I curved in a little bit and then came out and bumped. Great. So now I want to add in my ear. So the ear is like right about here, right? So we're going to not draw his eyes. We're going to pretend like it's kind of covered by his hair and his hat. But we're going to put his ear here just so we can kind of lay out where his other facial features and body and stuff will be. So right here to draw an ear, it's going to be like an upside down number 3. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to make like that kind of symbol, like we're making a question mark. Then I'm going to come in and make another similar kind of sign like this. So you see that right there? I'm always looking at the computer screen. I got to make sure that you guys can see that. Okay. So now that we have that there, I'm going to come in on the inside and I'm going to draw like this kind of like little Y shape on here. You guys see that? Just like that on the inside. You see that in the top, right in the middle there? Almost like a wishbone in your Thanksgiving turkey, right? I put that there because that's like the folds in your ears. So if you guys touch your ears, you'll feel like all the folds in them and stuff. And this isn't an exact replication. It's not to scale by any means, but you can kind of see a little bit to give a little bit of definition. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to draw his sleeve in a little bit. So his sleeve's going to be like right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a curved line that comes up like this. And I'm going to make one line just like that. Because he's like going to kind of like be built into it, like kind of flying into it a little bit. So now at the bottom here, I'm going to add another little curved line like this. Just a little one at the bottom there. So we kind of have this little curve. And then I'm going to bring this one up here too. So I'm going to start on the other end. And I'm going to come in like this. So I'm going to leave this part of it blank right now, because later when we draw the hair, I'm just going to put some cool hair design in there to kind of add it to make it a really fun dynamic drawing, right? All right. So remember when I told you to lay out your drawing? I didn't give enough space for my arm. I'm the worst at that, but we'll make do, right? So we're going to draw his like arm is going to be kind of bent like a little chicken wing, right? You guys want to do a little chicken wing right there? So in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up to the sleeve here, and I'm going to draw this kind of a curved line there. Just like this little bit of a curved line. So that's going to be like the top of his like inner arm, or maybe like a forearm in a way. So now that you have that there, I'm going to come down on this part here, and I'm going to bring it down in a curve to the rest part of this sleeve. So I'm going to come down, and I'm going to connect it like that, just like this. So I got something like this right now. Cool. So now, at this part, so this is like the elbow, right? So I'm going to come from the elbow part, and I'm going to come up a little bit, and I'm just going to bring my line into something like that right here. So you can see, like, this is like, if this is his elbow, this is the top of his arm, and this is his forearm. So he's kind of like tucked it in. So this is like his glove would be right here, like hidden in his armpit a little bit. All right. So then here, you can draw whatever jersey you want, but I'm going to draw a circle right here, because I would say most iterations of Mets jerseys have that Mets logo right there. So I have a circle, and I'm going to draw another little circle on the inside right there. And then I'm going to write Mets in there. So you guys can write whatever you want. I'm just going to write a little Mets logo. And as you can see how I'm writing it right now, it's not perfectly clear. It's just kind of like a little accent, a little detail right there, which will kind of bring it all together in our drawing later on when we're all done. This will be fun when we color it. You can make it the black jersey, a gray jersey. I like the pinstripe ones with the blue stripes. So that'll be up to you. Okay, so let's go and let's start to add our hair in. So let me show you on the main drawing. There are hundreds of millions of billions of ways to draw hair on it. How I like to draw hair is I like to make these little, see those little lines there, those little quick little black lines? I like to just have them where basically I'm taking my pen and I'm going just kind of like that, kind of moving it around. So that's how I like to do it. Some people, maybe you can like kind of draw in the hair, or you can make little curly cues on it. But I'm going to show you how to do it like this way here. So it's pretty straightforward. You can do this with your pen, your marker, your brush pen, however you want. So let me show you. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to add this sideburn in. So it's going to be like right here. So to do that, I'm just going to take a line. I'm just going to go, I'm just like kind of quickly taking my pen and adding something like that in there. Can you guys see that? Now, the reason I like to use those kind of lines there and quickly is your hair, I'm bald, if you can't tell, so I don't have a lot of expertise in this. But when you're walking down the street and there's like a gust of wind and your hair is all crazy, usually your hair isn't perfect. You know, there's always like a few things, a few strands of it out of the way, out of touch and such. So that's what's cool about this line work, is it's not perfect. You can kind of give the resemblance of it flowing in the breeze. All right. So now what we're going to do is this part right here, I'm going to write Thor. This kind of thing right here. And how I'm going to write that is I'm just going to take that same little that we did for that sideburn and kind of build that into these bubble letters right here. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do Thor, so you could absolutely follow along with me. But like we said in the beginning of class, if you wanted to write your own name or something else, you could totally do that. So you just follow the same kind of principle I'm doing, but just change the letters, right? So I'm going to just kind of space it out. So I'm going to have my Thor come right in this area right here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to have the T. So I'm going to kind of like go a little quick on this. So you can see I'm just making these fast little lines. And have fun with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. No one's getting graded here. I'm just writing Thor. And like you can see, I can have some of the lines are up a little bit. Some come down, up. And there's no wrong way to do this. I'm just quickly throwing my pen around. You see like that? And you can see I'm kind of jumping around where the shape of the letter is. And this way I can do that because I can give it some fun kind of texture. So you see that here? So this is going to be our T. And that's the real fun about these quick little fast lines. You see that there? Doesn't that look cool? It looks kind of hairy, right? You guys like Looney Tunes? You know Gossamer, the redheaded guy? This reminds me of him. He has all those like really fast little flingy hairs on there. Cool. So now I'm going to have the H. So let me show you my final drawing real quick. When I'm going to have my letters kind of like on top of each other, like they're kind of squished together, some are on top of each other and such. So that's how I'm going to draw it. You can do that too if you want, or you can kind of spread it out. But if you have like a long name, it might be nice to kind of like overlap them. I think it just gives it a really fun drawing. So that's T. Let's throw in our H right here. So you can see I'm just kind of throwing in those lines there. I cannot wait to see your guys' Noah Syndergaard hair. I think it's going to be really cool. What's really fun about this drawing too is if you wanted to, you could just color his hair brown and you could have a 2008 era Jacob deGrom. That's pretty cool. Was he playing 2008? Oh my God, my Mets credentials just went out the window if I'm wrong. I just threw a date out there. So just throwing in my H right there. Pop that there. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space here. So that's my T and my H. I'm going to leave this space here because now I'm going to start to throw in my O. So see how it can kind of overlap. I'll throw my O right there. So while we're doing that, yesterday I was just, kind of fooling around on YouTube and I found the 1952 Game 7 World Series on YouTube. It was the Yankees and the Brooklyn Dodgers. Oh my God, it was so fun to watch. I didn't watch all 2 hours or so of it. I kind of flicked around, but it was pretty cool. You never think of what you can look on YouTube. There's so much more than just cat videos. So check those out. You can watch some old World Series games and stuff. And it's just really cool to show how they had it all laid out. Like everybody had hats in the stands and stuff. It's really cool. Anyway, I thought that was fun. So now I'm still continuing with these little strokes. And you can see I'm kind of jumping all over the place right there. And feel free to jump ahead of me here. But again, I'm just kind of throwing that in. So that's my THO. And I'm going to throw my R. Kind of throw mine down a little bit. Again, so I'm going to be coming down. And I'm just kind of bumping around. Throwing that in there right there. Now, if you guys take a look, later on, I'll show you my website and stuff. And you can see how I draw hair on there too. It's just like this, but maybe I'll kind of layer it up. Like we've drawn mustaches before on our Bobby Valentine drawing or with Keith Hernandez naturally. And if you drew one of those, this is the same thing, except we're just kind of giving the outline of it. Okay, so if you're following along with me, so now I have my Thor right here. My R, I'm going to have it kind of tilt up a little bit to kind of be like the ends of the hair, like it's flowing out. And I'll throw that in right here. So my R is coming up just a bit. There it is. Look at that. You can see, hopefully you're having as much fun as I am showing this stuff. And there we go. It kind of filters up there a little bit. And you can see how I have it kind of flicked up a little bit? Just like the end of the hair right there. And I'll pop in my inside of my R. Pop that in right there. Great. So there's our Thor. Pretty neat, right? So just for fun, what I like to do is I'm going to add a couple little extra, these little quick lines on kind of the ends of some of the hair. Let me show you what I mean. So you see in that T right there, I threw in that little bit of a line right there. This just gives like a little extra oomph, a little bit of pop. So I'll kind of pick a couple of spots and throw a little bit on there. And I like to do this when I'm drawing like these bubble letters or something like that in the hair. I think it just kind of rounds it out a little bit. Makes it a little more 3D in a way. It makes it fun. So you can kind of pick them. So I usually kind of add these around like curves. So in the O, obviously in the top left there and the top right, there's like kind of a curve, but you could flip it here too if you want. And I'm not adding 1,000 billion of these, just a couple there to kind of give it a little get of oomph again. All right. I could do that all day. That's really fun to draw, right? All right. So now that we have that laid out, let's fill in some of this space right here. Now, this is where we can have a lot of fun. You can make his hair massively big or like really flowing. But I'm going to kind of make mine a little flowing because it's going to kind of fill up this area here and then kind of end its way right here at the end there. So I'm going to fill in this area right here. I'll have some hair come down, and I'm going to cover up that spot on his shoulder right there. And I'm going to kind of come up and down and in with the hair to have some fun with it. So there's like that up there. And at the top, I'm going to have his hair come up a little bit like this. So again, so I'll make some lines like this. And have fun. You can make some cool noises. It's like I'm calling your cat with that sort of thing on there. And like I'm going to like kind of have mine where like the letters are kind of like sticking out a little bit. So it's a part of the hair, but it's like also it's its own thing. So what I mean by that is I'm not gonna like leave that area here, and I'll kind of fill in down here a bit. And maybe up here just a little bit. And again, you can make your hair look however you want again. So I'm just kind of like, again, see how I'm like kind of filling in these areas a little bit? So it's kind of like blended in right there. And I'm just only doing this on the outside. So on this side and up here. The middle, I'm going to leave blank or how it is. And then, so that's good. And then up here, maybe I'll throw another little one. Kind of like that. And I'm going to leave the rest of the hair alone. Isn't that fun? I really enjoyed that. I hope you guys like that too. Drawing hair is one of my favorite things, especially with a beard. You can have like, if you guys wanted to draw me, oh my gosh. You can write whatever you wanted in the beard right there. Same thing. You just have the hair go down rather. All right. So now that we have our face, our arm, and our hair and our hat, we're going to add in this arm up here. So this is like, Noah's throwing arm up here. So I'm going to have it kind of bent up, and we're going to draw a hand holding a baseball popped up there. All right, so let's go ahead and let's pop that out. So I'm going to draw mine. It's going to be coming up in this area right here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here, kind of like, depending on how you drew your hair, mine's going to be like in between the middle of the hair and the little button on the top of the hat. I'm going to come up like this. I'm going to make one line like that. Then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to kind of bend it in a little bit. So I'm going to come down like this. So I have like this, basically it's just kind of like this curved line that comes all the way across like that. Let me get a sip of coffee. That stuff's really good. I'm not even just saying that. All right, cool. So there's that. So now what we're going to do is let's draw the other part of his arm. So this is going to be like the meaty part of his arm, his muscle, right? Remember we talk about like your arm gets like beefy, like towards your elbow and gets thinner towards your wrist. We're going to do something similar with this. So here, this is like the muscle. So we're going to have like this curved line that comes in. And I'm going to kind of curve it in just a little bit, just like that, right? Now I'm going to come up here a little bit, and I'm going to bump up. See, there's that curve, and then it gets a little thinner at the wrist, and then I'm going to kind of tie it all in like that. So you see this kind of shape that we have? It's almost like Bobby Valentine's mustache we drew that time. Then right here in this like elbow part, I'm just going to draw a little line here and a little Y kind of line. Very similar line that we drew for the inside of the ear. So you see that right there? All right, so we're almost done here. So now that we have this shape right here, we're going to draw like a hand now. So I'll show you how I'm going to draw mine. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the thumb. So to do that, I'm going to kind of build this little bump up like that, because that's like the meaty part of your thumb right there. You see your thumb and there's like that muscle there. It's good to massage it. Ooh, that feels nice. All right, so then I'm going to kind of have this little bump that comes up, little sausage shape. So that's our thumb. Oh man, I made his hand so small. That's all right. We'll hide it with the baseball. So there's that there. So now I'm going to have this, I'm going to come down. So that's our thumb. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to curl up and I'm going to make like this kind of shape like there. I went through that really fast. I'm sorry. But if you guys see I started like at the wrist there and I rolled it down. And I came up with that little round shape at the top. So that's like his other finger. So then up here, I'm just going to have like another little, so this is another finger. I'm going to kind of curve it in like that. And now I'm going to draw a baseball right here. So you can draw it as big as you want. So I'm going to have mine come like this. And don't worry if it's not a perfect circle. I like it. Again, I keep saying that word dynamic. I think it's like a fun shape. So it's not perfect in there. So you see it like kind of that round shape there? And it's kind of, he's holding it, right? So his thumb's going to be on the top and these are going to be there. So we have 5 fingers, right? So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's have one here. There's another finger kind of holding it. That's 4. And then this one here, I'm going to have the little pinky. I'll kind of curve that in just a little bit like that. So that's probably not the exact way to hold the ball, but it's fun for our drawing, right? So we have that. And then over here, I'm just going to come up with this curve right there. So you can see it's like kind of being held in his hand. You guys can see that? So don't worry if it's not exactly like mine. Mine's kind of bad. Look how little that thumb is. That's the beauty of drawing with ink. You just live with your mistakes. So now I'm going to throw in some stitches. So again, I just throw little stitches. So I'm going to draw a little line there and a little line here. And then I always say I draw these little hearts. And then I'll have the hearts going the other way. Awesome. Cool. So that is the drawing part. So you just drew Noah Syndergaard with the Thor in his hair. So I thought this was really fun. I'm glad you guys sat and drew with me. So let's color it. So you can color it however you want. I'm just going to color in his hair yellow right here. There's golden locks. So like I said earlier in the class, we're doing our class once a week now because it's the summer months, you know. So we're going to be doing this every Wednesday at noon. So thanks for everyone that tuned in. If you're watching this later, don't worry. This lives on the internet forever. That's another Sandlot joke. Oh my gosh, I'm on the roll today. So you don't have to watch this exactly at noon. You can watch it anytime you want and catch up. One of the fun things about watching it with us at noon is you get to see like the community, like kind of our family, our little crew that we made up here. So we have a lot of the same folks coming in week by week. So it's really fun. We get to know each other and kind of work on our drawing skills together. So thanks to everyone that's coming through. I think it's really awesome and really special on there. So as we say, let us know where you're drawing from. If you're drawing from another part of the world, you're drawing here in the States. So I know we got Caitlin in Milan, which is cool. We got, friends from Japan drawing with us. I had someone from Spain the other day. So we're all over. Our class with Herm is worldwide. So I'm going to make some kind of the blue right here. So you can have fun with this part of the coloring, like we always say. So if you want to, like those black jerseys everyone's been really talking about, which are cool. So I kind of like that. I'm a blue. I'm an old-fashioned kind of guy there. So I'm throwing that in there right there. And then in the comments down there too, while you guys are drawing, let me know if you have any suggestions for anything you want to draw. So, sometimes I'll hit a brick wall. I'll be like, what am I going to draw today? So that's where like this kind of came through. I had drawn this a million years ago just for fun. And I thought it was fun to draw the hair, so I figured we could draw it together. But if there was something that you've been aching to draw, we'll kind of pop that in. I'll do my best to get that there. Cool. So let's see. I got that all right there. Excellent. So there you go. Pretty fun, right? This is one of the more fun drawings we had. There's a lot of liveliness to it, right? In the hair and all that kind of fun stuff on there. So when you're all done with that, we like to sign our drawings here. So you can kind of draw it anywhere you want. I usually like the bottom right-hand corner. I'm going to sign my name right there, a little Herm. A little smiley face right there. And then I like to date my drawing too. So today is June 3rd. Yes, June 3rd. Can you believe it's June already? Goodness gracious. 2020. And what's really cool about signing and dating your drawing is no one can steal it. This is yours. Take pride, ownership, love in that. And then by dating it too, if you keep drawing overall and such forth and continue on this journey, you can see how much better your drawings have gotten overall and how your skills improved. So drawing is like exercising. The more you practice, the more you exercise, the better you will get at it. So thanks so much. You guys are awesome. I can't wait to see your drawings. So with that, here's some ways that you can share it with us. So like I said, we got a little art family right here. So let's share our drawings. So here's different ways that you can reach me. So on Instagram, you can find me at Herman. So you can just tag me on your Instagram post of your drawing right there. I'd love to see it. If Twitter's more your thing, you can find me at Herm's Terms. You can pop that on there. I promise to always retweet and comment and say how great you did. And don't forget to tag the 7 line too. So we'll make sure we'll tag those all on there. And this is a good way too, so you can kind of pop into the chance to win that gift card to the website. If you don't like social media, or if you don't have one or something, that's cool too. I know it can be pretty crazy sometimes. You can email me, herm@hermsterms.com. You can throw that in the email, and I love to get emails from everyone. You could pop that in there, and we can kind of converse that way. And if you wanted to, you can look at some of my other work here at hermsterms.com. And you can see some other drawings I did that aren't just baseball, and you can kind of check out. And I got a little shop and all that stuff on there too. So remember, thank you again to our friends at Sail Away Coffee. They're amazing. Thank you for the delicious brew. And again, you can go to sailawaycoffee.com and type in Herm20 and the checkout to get 20% off of your order. And guys, I just wanted to say thanks so much for drawing with us. I know it's pretty crazy out there in the world overall, but hopefully you can come here. We can have a good time. Just remember to respect and love each other. We're all here for each other forever and always. I love you guys 100%. You guys are amazing, and I hope you do great things in the world. Can't wait to see your drawings, and we'll see you next week, all right? Bye. Magic trick.